Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be a rather major video, and one that I knew was coming but wasn't sure on the answer, but it's been confirmed now what I need to do. So what do I need to do? Okay, well, this video is all about porting your internal wastegate, and that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to take the turbo off, I'm going to pull the turbo apart, and we're going to make the internal wastegate hole bigger by grinding it out, because we have overboost. And I've had it confirmed by the people who make the turbo that the Gen 1 version of this particular kit, which is the one that's on this car, did have the tendency to boost creep when the cats were removed, and it had better flow. And that's what we've got. So you're going to come on a journey. It's going to take a few days, but obviously compressed into a few minutes of a video. So I'm going to take you on a journey of what you need to take off, and then the grinding, and then putting it back together, and hopefully turn the key and everything will be fine. So let's go. Okay, so for the first part, we're going to be taking the intercooler off. So that needs to come off. That pipe needs to come off. That needs to come off. That needs to come off. The bolt there needs to come off. That needs to be undone. That needs to be undone. We'll pull that off. When then that's off, we're going to take the battery out. Take the battery box out. Make sure that this whole area is empty, because this is the area that the turbo is going to come out of. So let's get on with that bit. Our intercooler's off. So from this point onwards, anything around this area needs to be soaked in WD. We don't want any snappages. So all of it, manifold, everything. So once we take this cover off, everything's going to get soaked. Okay, so battery box is out. And now we're going to take the intake off, which is connected to the turbo back there. And get all this gubbins out and see where we're at. Okay, after much fighting, it's out. But oh my god, it was such a ball ache. It's too big for the back of there. So I've had to take the manifold off. Best way to do it is to unbolt the turbo from the manifold while it's in situ, and then you can get at the bolts a lot more easily on the manifold itself. And then you just whip the manifold off, pull the turbo out, bang tidy. Right, let's start the grinding. Oh no, we better take the turbo apart first, won't we? That might be a good idea. Okay, so we're going to take the turbo apart because we need to get this off from the cartridge. So we need to undo these bolts here, and then the cartridge will pull away. So let's get on. So it was at this point that the video went completely tits up, and I decided, fuck it, I'm going to put the turbo back in. I can't deal with it. I haven't got the money to deal with it. And I looked at the crack for far too long. It's clearly been ported already, as you can see from the hole. So I was like, okay, fuck it, let's put it back in. I put it back in. I sent ATP an email with the photograph of what you've just seen. And they sent me an email back saying, yep, it's quite normal for a Mazda Speed to have that crack. It doesn't harm performance. It'll be fine. And at which point I was like, no! Because obviously I don't want to take it back out. It's such a ball ache. So the next time that turbo comes out will be when it gets replaced. So as soon as we've got the replacement turbo, we'll crack on. So sorry about that. You never got to see me porting anything, but you did see how to get sort of things off. So fuck it, we'll move on. I'll show you how to do the catch can now though, so we'll get onto that. But this is the exact same setup I had on my black car. So this is how you do it. So let's carry on. Sorry. Okay, we've taken the intake manifold off because we want to sort out the oil catch can feed, of which there is only one coming to the can and nowhere else. And they've blocked off the manifold on this end, which it's supposed to return to. So we're going to solve that, and then we should be good to go with the ventilation. and put that all back together. Okay, we have another little cheap mod here, which is the coolant rerouting mod for the throttle body, because obviously this heats the body up when in cold temperatures, which in England it doesn't get that cold, so we're going to reroute it to get rid of it so it stays nice and cool. And what we need to do is pull this one back, because this is the one we're going to pull off, and we're going to pull this one off and put this pipe on there. Okay, as you can see, I've just rerouted it back on itself, and it's more just to keep the channel from getting dirty. We've rerouted pipe down to here, so now it's just reconnected, jobs are good. Okay, we're fitting the catch can, which is a new one. So this will be the in pipe coming from PCV valve, which is from the crankcase. Then we've got the out pipe, which is here, which is going to go into the back of the intake manifold, that is. And we're going to stick a PVC valve on this end as well, so it doesn't backwards flow and give back pressure into the catch can itself. So let's put that one on. Okay, as you can see, we've put the other PCV valve on the end of the intake manifold. And obviously this is the direction you want it to be going in. So it's blowing in from the catch can, but it won't come back out. Bang tidy. Okay, so we put the inlet manifold back on. I'm just trying to trace the wire for you, the actual, I don't know if you can see it there you go. So that's the PCV valve that's going back into the intake. So we have two on the system now. So one coming off the actual crankcase itself, and then we've got one just before it goes into the intake to make sure there's no backflow and goes back into the can. Okay, throttle body's back on. There we go. Vac pipes are back on. There and there. There. Just got to plug in some plugs, and that's that bit done. And tighten up the fan belt, or the adjuster plate, you know, for the adjuster, you know what I mean, that thing. Okay, so that is the end of the video, and hopefully it was entertaining enough for you to watch to the end. So at least you've figured out how you can hook up a catch can. You don't have to, you know, spend mega bucks to do it, because you really don't. That was a cheap can and some piping, and I think it costs £18 from Mazda to get a PVC valve, the orange and green thing. And that's it, it's just your time after that. I recommend that you take the intake off to do it though. I did my black one with the intake in place, and it was an absolute ball ache. Whereas if you take it off, it's just so much easier. And taking the intake off is not that big a deal. Yeah, you just need to loosen up the fan carrier, the fan belt carrier, as you can see on the left hand side of the intake. Just loosen it off so it pulls to the side a little. Then you can get it all the bolts on the intake. Yeah. So I think there's ones all along the top. There's one, two down the side, and one at the very front at the bottom. And if it doesn't pull off, it means there's another bolt still on. So just have a search for it. But that should be all you have on. And it just pulls off, and then you can get great access from it from there on. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you liked the video or disliked it, whatever. Leave us a comment in the comment section if you want to know anything or whatever. If you just want to say, yeah man, that was a cool vid, or shame about the turbo and the crack and that. No, okay, fair dues. Anyway, spread the word, share the video so we can get to 1,000 subs. Bang tidy. I'll see you on the next video, which will be soon. Bye for now.